his question, if a buyer purchases on like the first day, do you guys ship it right away since he's already put in the money and committed to it?
Yes, so we have a seller portal on our website, and they can frequently log in to see how many sales they're at. It is up to the company though, however, to act upon the shipping, because we can only send them emails and display information. But yes, the company does ship right away because the money, we're actually putting a 7-day hold on the credit card for the full amount, and then we don't actually take any money until the end of the 7 days for the smaller amount that the price goes down to. So shipping can happen right away. That's really what separates us from our competitor. Shipping for them doesn't happen until the sale closes. All the products then ship to their warehouse, they repackage it, and then ship it back out. So you're looking at about 3-week turnaround time with our only competitor. Yeah.
I'm curious, with the new market you're going after, crowd shopping, you say? Is it crowd?
Yeah, crowd shopping, yep.
Crowd shopping. So with this new idea, it obviously works. The problem you have is always trying to make those connections with manufacturers, because those manufacturers are in bed with their marketing team and they're their experts and they only believe in them and they've done everything they could to get those contracts. You're an outsider and they don't understand it, but you have a great service. Your service, have you considered white labeling it or producing something that will allow you to just contact these other advertising firms?
Yes, it has been a consideration at one point. It's pretty much our backup plan. If we don't get traction, then we can just repackage our whole back end and give it out as a white label tool for other companies to use on their website. But getting connected with those companies is a challenge. Just getting in their face, really, advertising. Yes.
So have you done any research into, I guess, the idea behind early adopters down the spectrum to laggards, see how hard is it to get the initial buy-in from enough buyers to convince enough people to then continue to drop the price?
Yeah.
Any sort of studies along that line as far as, how often the prices will drop all the way to the bottom versus, when you only have 2 buyers and then they just pay full price?
And then there's soft right there. So that's interesting. We've done 3 test sales. There's not a whole lot of data and research for what you're talking about on the web. I don't know if I can find any more information on a library or anything. But really it's just about validating right now and watching those trends and then tracking it and pulling in as much data as we can and learning about the trends of how people are shopping and what type of people are actually sharing the sale. Because that's a really big element to this, is that if we have buyers come on and they purchase an item, but they're not sharing the sale with any friends, and they're not going to save any further money. And yeah, so out of the 3 test sales we've done, 2 of them didn't actually reach the full ending price. And so I think there's things that we can do though to motivate these shoppers even more to go out and share the sale with their friends. So yeah, that's a great question. In closing, we haven't had any first buyer issues. As soon as we launched all of our sales, we've immediately had 5 to 10 buyers immediately within the hour join into the sale. So it's not exactly how we thought it would go.
And what promotion are you putting behind the initial, beyond allowing buyers themselves to share?
Yeah.
What sort of promotion are you doing for each day?
Email campaign. Over here, yep.
Yeah, so 2 questions. Why the 10% of the income? Why 10%? And then also why targeting 18 to 30? Why did you make those 2 choices?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So 10%, we wanted to be cheaper than Amazon, but more expensive than Kickstarter. We've interviewed about 50 different businesses and asked them, what they believe would be a good compensation number. And in all that surveying, we came to the number of 10%. And with us taking the payment processing fee, just so it's something that they don't have to think about or worry about, which makes our website just very simple and easy to use. The age group, who shops online and who uses social media, it's really the 18 to 30-year-old group, male and female. That's going to help us get to launch, and then we can expand from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So something I was thinking about with kind of the chicken and egg and your marketing strategy, it seems kind of like you're actually kind of lucky here because a lot of these manufacturers, they're not your typical manufacturers, they're going to be kind of newer product ones, and it seems like they will be doing a lot of the advertising for you. Like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, where there are people that just go just to look, but most of those products, the advertising is done by the manufacturer themselves. I think you're in a similar boat, especially since you're trying to attract people that are just coming from Kickstarter, Indiegogo. So yeah, I think that you might be lucky there, and maybe think along those lines if you can somehow push that or look at that.
I agree, thank you. And with that, and thinking as well that these Kickstarter campaigns, they have so much momentum. When the campaign ends, it just sits there. Nothing further happens. And I don't know about everyone here, but I've come across multiple campaigns that have finished already, but I was like, man, this is a really cool product. Like, I like this. And so I wind up either going to Amazon or their website to find that product, and now it's at its full retail price, and now I don't want to join into whatever they're doing. So if we can take that momentum, leave Kickstarter, and drag it into our website, yeah, that's almost like free marketing at that point.
Yeah. Two-part question. How many products at one time would you have? Would you have like a maximum number going on at the same time? And then part two is, would you start a campaign, let's say on day one for product A, and then on day two, start a new campaign for product B? Perfect.
So our maximum number of products on our website is about 1,010,000. We'll stop. I'm just kidding. No, we don't have a limit on how many products we'd like to have on our website. We'll just keep them coming. There's nothing more. To your second question, we are going to limit the same product being sold on our website to once a quarter. We won't limit, however, a company selling multiple products on our website at the same time. We don't want to devalue any products. If the company saw they got immediate traction with selling that product on our website, and they keep pushing it on our website over and over, they're just going to devalue that product, and it's going to lose its value, and they won't be able to sell anywhere else. And we don't want to jeopardize the value of products going through our website. So, yes.
Are you planning on targeting a specific kind of industry? Because Kickstarter, I mean, you've got the technology, the design, the art, the games, and all of that. Are you going to target a specific one where you're just going to have technology products on your page? If not, how are you planning? I mean, are you going to try to go the Amazon Prime Day deal kind of feeling where it's just you have no idea what's going to be on there, but you're going to look every day just because? How are you going to kind of manage that?
Fantastic. That's actually the question that keeps me up at night. I want to say I don't know. And to that, with these first initial sales that we're doing, we're collecting as much data as we can. This is just our MVP. We're just getting started, and so we want to kind of target and see, where is it that we can get a grasp on. And when we feel that we've found somewhat of a niche, we're really going to hammer into there and take off from there. That's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah, so what's to stop eBay or Amazon from doing the same thing on their site, just like creating a Koohoots for their site?
Absolutely nothing. I know Overstock.com tried doing this model about 2 years ago and discontinued the program. And it's just not what their business model is. Those companies are so large and so structured that to change to a model like this would be quite the overhaul, I would believe. However, we are working on two different patents right now that may be able to give us some of the protection. Yes.
This may be more a follow-up comment to the question about industry, because that was a question that I had too. But what I've seen in similar sites or auction sites or different things like that, they oftentimes try to start out grasping everything and then ended up being more of a focus within tech or within home products or whatever it might be. And it would probably serve you well to, I mean, think about Amazon as a case study. They started with books, now they do everything, but they got really good at books first. And I think the message and the audience will be easier to capture for a certain niche first. and then you can expound upon that later on. But it will probably save you a lot of headache at first and money by focusing it down a little bit at first.
It's a great
It's a
comment.
thought.
And that's a big question is which niche do you pick? I wish I could just go ask Jeff Bezos, like, why books? Brody?
Yeah, you mentioned your target is 18 to 30 and male and female. Just analyzing my own social media feed, it seems like female and products geared towards moms and children would do much better from a viral perspective of sharing deals and that type of thing. I'm not one to share, hey, run up, Target has this cool thing on sale, you should go check it out. But I see that a lot in my feed from my wife's friends or my sister and her friends or whatever. And so I would recommend you, in looking at more of a niche, my natural inclination would be to bend that way.
Interesting. Keep that in mind. Thank you.
So, have you guys heard of the case study of Mercata? So Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft, started a company called Mercata, exact same model, back in 2001, and raised about 100 million in capital, and then wasn't able to raise additional money. So their ultimately what they faced was the fact that the price was never able to drop low enough, or the risk as far as the users feeling like the price was going to drop lower than the price at an Amazon, for example. The risk was not, there was too much risk. And so they would just go to Amazon to buy it because it was less money than the original price. And they didn't feel like it was going to get below. And so that was the issue that they had. And so you might want to study up on that specific case study, Mercata. But anyways.
I wonder if adding the element of social media had changed the dynamics in 2016.
So following up to Jeff, who runs the BYU Entrepreneurship Center, 5 years ago, there was a company called Kalood, K-A-L-O-O-D, which is a social deal system very similar. And it won the business plan competition, got a lot of fanfare, investment, and they really made a run for it and ultimately closed and failed. So you might want to, those are some really good entrepreneurs that went on to do other deals and things. I can connect you to them and you can hear the whole story if
That'd
you
be
want.
fantastic. Yeah.
Last question, what can we do as a 1 Million Cups community for you?
So much. On our website, Koohoots.com, we have an early adopters list. We are looking to get as many people involved into our MVP. I would appreciate it if you guys would join our list, and we will shoot you an email when our first sale goes live. And we would absolutely love feedback on user experience and the way our website works. So,
awesome.
Great. Thank you.
Very cool. We've got an announcement, a couple of announcements. We already did the salt mine growth hacking awesomeness happening tonight. But we have a few more. By show of hands, who's seen the show Cake Wars? Oh yeah. So who was here for our 2-year anniversary party? It was pretty sweet. We had a cake that was like, and it was this big 1 Million Cups cup. It was awesome. But the crowd demolished the cake. I didn't even get to have a piece. It was gone by the time we were over. So anyways, Mighty Baker, who is from Provo, is competing in Cake Wars and is going to be having a viewing party Monday, August 1st at Big Door. So he also will bring some product so for everyone to sample. So cake viewing party at Big Door, that's August 1st. And then we've got another announcement that Miss Jessica Freck, she's a local artist and also very, very talented copywriter, digital marketer, all that jazz. I'll let her announce her announcement.
Hey guys, I'm Jessica. I'm the marketing manager at Big Door, which is also where Cake Wars is happening. Has anyone been on producthunt.com or aware of the platform? Well, so most people in this community. It's basically an online platform where you can post products and search for trending products, and we host a monthly meetup for Utah at Big Door. So that is tomorrow at 12, and that'll be lunch. If you just go to our website, you can get tickets, they're free. It's a good networking thing, and then Homie, Sticky Sounds. I wish I could remember the other two, but they're all online if you want to check them out. But it'll be a great list of products that will be there. So we hope to see you there.
Very cool. Sticky Sounds. And then Andrews has an announcement. Let's have Andrews do it.
Yeah. We've got another party going on. So it's right here. It's I don't know if any of you have heard about Pokemon Go, but it's sweeping the nation. So we're right here tomorrow during the food truck roundup. So food truck roundup is across the street, 6 to 9. Pokemon party is here 6 to midnight.
So why are you doing the Pokemon party here though?
Well, funny you should ask, Chris.
Uh-huh.
It's actually the perfect space for it because there's 5 Pokestops, if you know what those are, and 1 gym.
Oh.
So there's gonna be some prizes, giveaways, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, come on out tomorrow, 6 to midnight, Pokemon party right here.
Sweet. You know, Andrews and I, it was the night before Pioneer Day. So Saturday night, we went and bought some fireworks and we launched them off here. We had one minor issue. One of them, it tipped over, you know? And we had I had my kids and Andrews was there with his, and we were at the wall. So there was nowhere for us to run, but just hug the wall. And it tipped and it launched and blew up under my car. So it was, the car's okay. I was a little nervous, but it was a killer. But that wasn't the point of the story. The point of the story was there were all these zombies walking around. It was 10:30 and there's these zombies with backpacks walking like this. And Andrews, is that guy casing these cars? What's he doing? He's like, no, Pokemon. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it's fine. Forget the zombies. They're just doing Pokemon. It's okay. And my 4-year-old was actually asked me, is that a zombie? I'm like, oh man. He's afraid he hates zombies. So. All right. So excited? By show of hands, who's heard of Campus Founders Fund? Cool. How many were here when they presented a couple months ago? 3 or 4. All right. Well, we're lucky to hear them again. So we're gonna have Bryce come up and share with us about the fund. We're also just so you guys know, Bryce is one of us. By that meaning, Bryce schedules, reaches out, connects us with local startups. He's the 1 Million Cups organizer. So shout out to Bryce. He's doing a lot in the community. Cool dude. Appreciate all his help. We're gonna give him the mic. So awesome.
Great. Thanks. All right. So yeah, I'm Bryce Figueredo. I'm a student at BYU. I study mechanical engineering. Talking about Campus Founders Fund today. So Campus Founders Fund is venture capital for students by students. So we're a fund that looks at companies that are coming out of schools here in Utah. And like every venture capitalist, we want to fund the next big thing. And we think that a lot of the next big things are in universities right now. So our mission is to invest in great student entrepreneurs. And we found that so students plus investment money plus mentoring is a formula for success. So what we found is that there are a lot of students in universities that have great ideas or have great skills to make good things happen. And there's a lot of good resources on campus and off campus. That they're getting, but a lot of people don't have a really good idea of venture capital or how to raise money or things like that. So we've been trying to bridge that gap. The startups, whether or not we invest in them. So to give you a little bit of background, we were founded in 2014. We were started by Kickstart Seed Fund. And they set aside $500,000 and recruited about, right now we're 11 students at BYU, University of Utah, and Utah State. And we hear pitches every week during the fall and winter semesters when school is in. And we make investments of 10 to 20K. And so there's a lot of startups, so it's hard. We wish we could fund everybody, but we can't. Right now we've got 10 portfolio companies, and I'll talk about them a little bit later. And we've got alumni who are in management consulting and working for startups and a lot of different things. So it's pretty cool to see what people go on to do. Our team, we draw from all majors across campus. We've got engineers, computer science majors, finance majors, accounting majors, and we really try to kind of broaden our perspective so that everybody, we've got somebody who knows something about, you know, all the companies that we look at, and we can help a little bit. Kickstart Seed Fund has been really awesome. They provided the capital to get us started. They've trained us on, you know, venture deals, what deals look like, how to get deals done, and provided mentoring for us and also connections to their portfolio companies and people who can, you know, not only help us out, but also help out the companies that we funded. So here's some of the companies that we funded. We've heard some of them present here at 1 Million Cups. We try to invest in companies across the board in different industries. So we've got, you know, Bookru is a book subscription box, a monthly subscription box. Ancestor Cloud right now is in Techstars in Boulder. They connect people who are doing genealogy, family history with experts around the world who can help them solve their problems. Simple Citizen recently got accepted to Y Combinator, so they're out there doing that. And a lot of these teams are here doing BYU Founders Launchpad, so that's been really cool too. And we've also found that a lot of the value that we can add is not just giving money. You know, there's a lot of ways that startups can get money. Obviously, you know, money's important and it helps. But a lot of the, you know, we can't invest in everybody, and a lot of the value that we try to add comes from sitting down with entrepreneurs who have businesses, or, you know, even students who are maybe thinking they want to start a business or have some idea and don't know how to start a business. And we find that we can help them out a lot by helping people know how they should run their business. Should you run it as, you know, should you be a venture-backed business, or should you not? Because, you know, just because Facebook and Google, and you have all these crazy success stories, and, you know, you hope to IPO or sell your business for, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, doesn't mean that every idea that every student has should be a venture-backed business. And so, you know, sitting down and helping people know what they should do, you know, what they should do before they go out and raise capital, how they can get to that point, is really helpful, I think. And it's been a really good experience to help people understand that, and then understand, you know, what's the roadmap to get there. You know, we've really expanded our mission and our vision from just investing in the next big thing to trying to get students across Utah involved and excited about entrepreneurship. So that's my presentation, and feel free to reach out, campusfounders.com. If you're a student and you've got a business or an idea and you want to pitch to us, or even just get some like mentoring, consulting, connections, whatever you need, check out our website, and there's a form that you can fill out, and we'll get in contact with you, or feel free to connect with me personally.
All right, here we go.
So obviously, my first question is, how do you guys mitigate the risk involved with backing students who have limited experience? Because it seems to me that's obviously the biggest risk that you guys have is that, you know, my understanding, my experience with venture-backed businesses are that they usually are backing more the team versus the idea, because the team is the one who's going to execute on the idea, not the other way around. And so if that's the case, if the team is more important in the fact that you're investing in students who sometimes don't have the most experience, how do you guys go about mitigating that risk?
Yeah, absolutely. The team is definitely, you know, the thing that when we're doing diligence on companies, that's the thing that we really look at a lot. And it is hard because it is a big risk. And, you know, because people are students, a lot of times that means that they just, you know, by nature of being a student, you probably don't have a lot of experience outside of that. And so we try to dig down and look at things, even if they haven't started a company, you know, what other things have they done that have showed that they can, you know, take something like, you know, venture money and do something with it. So that's part of it, is just the diligence and trying to drill down really into the founders and make sure that they're a good fit. And also trying to keep, you know, with them, and if they have, you know, if they're having struggles or problems, we try to keep with them and try to mentor them and try to connect them to people that are going to be good mentors for them as well.
So tell us like a success story, like in the group you work with, or like in your and why, I guess, like with the.
Yeah. Okay. So Emberall, is anybody from Emberall here right now? So Emberall is a company. They started at BYU. So this is like kind of like a mentoring success story. They started out, you know, with one business model. They had to do a few pivots, and they kind of got to the point where they're like, we just, you know, don't know what to do at all right now, and they were thinking about shutting down. We were able to connect them to one of Kickstart's portfolio companies, and they sat down and had lunch and hashed things out and talked about you know, where their struggles were, and it was a big help for them, like talking to somebody who's a little bit farther down the road, and could give them really good, like, personalized advice for where they're at. And they were able to make another big pivot and kind of change their business model. So those connections are really helpful, I think, for businesses at this stage.
Do you work with, let's say you have a startup that maybe has like one student in it, like, does it have to be all students, or does it be like partial, or how's that work?
Yeah, good question. So we like to be a good fit for CFF. We look at teams that have at least one student on the team. So, like, you know, one of the co-founders, somebody who has a significant portion of the company. And we look at teams who have somebody who's graduated from the past year. So it's kind of like a spirit of the law thing. If you graduated from the past year, we'll look at you. And so we pretty much focus on universities, but we've had high school students pitch to us and things like that. So.
What if you never graduated?
If you never graduated, so yeah.
Well, basically, my question is, my observation of student startups is that the two things that kill most of them is the lure of $16,000 of sales of pesticide or home security and dental school. Like, it seems like a lot of student startups die because they're like, want the sure thing. And how do you test for like that kind of character? I mean, do you ask them? Like, I mean, it's the most absurd thing I hear. Like, I hear them ask questions to visit the entrepreneurs. I'm like, do you think entrepreneurship or dental school is a better bet? And I'm like, if that's even a debate, you're just in the wrong room. But
yeah,
I mean, how do you do that kind of character test?
Yeah, totally. You know, part of it is just observing the person and seeing what they have given up so far. So a lot of the companies we've invested in, people had opportunities or go do things like that, and they have passed them up to do this company. And so that's, a pretty good indication that they're going to stick with it. Another one is just having frank conversations with people and saying, what are your plans when you graduate? What are your backup plans? A lot of times we'll ask things like, if we don't back you, what are your plans for this? Are they just gonna, is it like, oh, if I don't get $10,000 for Campus Founders Fund, I'll just go take a job, or are they committed to doing it long term and they'll find a way to get the money? And if it's that, if somebody's committed enough to it, that they'll find a way to get the money whether or not we back them, that's a pretty good indication that they're not just gonna, bail.
We'll see what happens.
So on the flip side here, you talked about, by the way, I love your model. I think it's a really interesting model. Obviously, I'm in the state of, I work in the Rollins Center, so I believe in student entrepreneurs, but I really want to just ask some questions. As far as, what else do you guys as a team bring to the table for the, for the startups? Because another reason, obviously, why startups get investment from venture capital firms is the money is part of it, but hopefully, they're getting value from the team that's investing in them, right? And that's probably even more valuable, the connections that the people at that firm can provide for them. So, does Kickstart Seed Fund, how closely do they work with you to help, to help your portfolio of companies? You mentioned that you can use some of their connections. I'd love to have you tell a little more about that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Kickstart Seed Fund works really closely with us. They've given us training and they continue to give us training. So they train us on venture things. So we want to become among students the domain experts of venture capital. So we can help people understand what venture deals look like, and if they're about to get a really bad deal from some seed fund that they're talking to, or some other kind of fund. And so there's that, the venture expertise. There's also the kind of the broad expertise that we have on the team. That we have engineers and business people, and one of the people on the team is an expert at social media marketing, and he has a social media marketing company, and he does a ton of work with that. So he steps in and helps teams that maybe they've got a really cool business model, but their marketing is not very good at all. He's stepped in and helps people with that. And then Kickstart opening up their portfolio is also really cool. Connecting people with their portfolio companies. So some of those connections that Kickstart has, and everything that those VCs have, they offer that. We're kind of like a pipeline for those resources to student companies. And then just us helping introduce people to Kickstart and to other people that Kickstart knows. Yeah.
How do students find out about you?
We try to get involved in all the entrepreneurship clubs on the different campuses. So we've reached out that way. We visited like Founders Launchpad at BYU. We visit events and things like that. We held an event last year and tried to do a bunch of marketing for that. And we're going to do more events this coming year.
Awesome. Last question. What can we do as a 1 Million Cups community for you?
Yeah, if you're a student-run startup, go to our website, check it out, sign up. Even if you don't want to pitch to us, you don't think you're far enough along to pitch to us, sign up and we can sit down and talk and help you figure out what you're doing. And if you're not and you know student-run startups, send them our way.
Awesome. Thanks, man. So shout out to Bryce. I'll let you guys know. So we had he wasn't planning on presenting this morning, so he did it last minute. So another round of applause for Brian. Hey guys, awesome. So next, shout out to Walker May for all the breakfasts that they're able to provide for us. Their accounting group locally. They're entrepreneurs in all different shapes and sizes, and we appreciate all the support that he gave us. Next month we have Foxtail Marketing providing breakfast for us. So appreciate everything. Have a great week. The space is yours to mingle. So have a good one.
Still marketing CEO Mike Templeton, fastest growing SEO company in Utah. Sponsoring all breakfast. Like I said, Mike Templeton gave me a lead. You called me right out of the blue. Just said, hey, take care of this guy in California. He's number one for the keyword California SEO California SEO expert. So he's got a lot of leads going for him, and I've been working with him. And I don't watch stuff because he just said, Mark, this is my friend. I knew him. Mike Templeton is the CEO of Fox. I knew him when I worked at Boostability. He's my buddy. We don't provide what he's looking for, white label SEO. And if I get Mike Templeton, if I can get that one guy happy, man, I'm telling you, they're growing. They turn around. They don't even take all their clients. They're like turning away everyone who's not a $5,000 to $10,000 a month client. And they turn them all down and say, sorry, it's not in our wheelhouse. That's what they actually say. It's not in our wheelhouse. I want to ask that guy if he has that social media company. I'm still working on it.